start by paying tribute to my incredible new colleagues who've made some inspiring speeches and set the bar so incredibly high. Yeah. So no pressure there then. There's only one word that sums up how I feel to be on these green benches, and that word is chuffed. Yeah. Chuffed to be here and to have been granted the opportunity to be Bishop Auckland constituency's champion. Yeah. My predecessor served the constituency well for 14 years, and I thank her particularly for her good work on maintenance fees for new build estates. Now, all 650 MPs in this place are convinced that they represent the best, most beautiful constituency, and I'm incredibly happy to be the one that's right. The home of the Prince Bishops, with over 70 communities across 365 square miles. We have a proud history of railways, mining, farming and football. And I hope to add to the latter by joining the Honourable Member for Chatham and Aylesford on the Parliamentary Women's Football team. Yeah. With 10 amateur cup wins, Bishop Auckland FC also stepped in to help Manchester United fulfil their fixtures following the heartbreaking Munich air disaster in 1958, proving that when we work together, we work best. Yeah. West Auckland, just down the hill from where I live, even represented Great Britain at the inaugural World Cup in 1909. And in 1909, Madam Deputy Speaker, the Sir Thomas Lipton Trophy was indeed coming home. And as we'll prove on the 31st of this month, that wasn't the last time we went to Europe and got the result we wanted. As in football, Madam Deputy Speaker, Bishop Auckland constituency is a tale of two halves. The beautiful rolling landscapes of rural life to the west in Teesdale, and the grafting industrial towns and villages to the east. The diversity in landscape is matched by the diversity in the challenges faced by the different communities. In Teesdale, we need to protect our rural communities, with an emphasis on the farming heroes that help feed our nation and preserve our environments. And I will work even more closely with local service UTAS to be a true champion for our farmers and to create a thriving rural economy. Yeah. I'll also be campaigning to improve our rural broadband and 4G coverage, and I'm delighted that the government has committed to eradicating knock spots, because connectivity, in every sense, is at the centre of my local plan and the centre of government. Absolutely. Yeah. In the east of the constituency, in an all too familiar story, our high streets are under pressure. But the government is listening, and I'm chuffed once more that Bishop Auckland will benefit from the Towns Fund and the Future High Streets Fund. Yeah. Local transport is also an issue, and I've been nagging the Right Honourable Member for Welwyn Hatfield incessantly about the long-awaited Toft Hill bypass. But we must also secure the repair work needed on Halton Bridge, Madam Deputy Speaker. Not least because the community faces a dramatic detour which has forced the closure of the local pub, but also because of its cultural value in being the oldest suspension bridge in Britain which still relies upon its original chainwork. But one issue that unites the whole constituency is our local healthcare provision. Madam Deputy Speaker, my local priority is fighting for improved health services at Bishop Auckland Hospital, with the ultimate goal of restoring our A&E. Now, I've been banging the drum here in Parliament non-stop since I was elected and have no plans to let up just yet. So, to my right honourable friend from West Suffolk, sorry, but you'll be seeing an awful lot more of me. And despite the rhetoric from many members opposite, the NHS is at the very heart of the Conservative Party. And I welcome the record NHS funding from this government and the bold step to enshrine that funding into law. And the NHS has a special place in my heart, Madam Deputy Speaker. Though, unfortunately, my best experiences of the NHS were in times of great sadness. It was the incredible NHS staff that helped bring smiles to my nan's face in the last days of her battle with cancer. It was NHS paramedics and doctors who fought valiantly to help save my dad's life. And if any of those staff are watching today, then I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I was 13 years old when a man who later admitted he was high on drink and drugs walked across a pub and ended my dad's life in seconds with one single punch. As a result, Madam Deputy Speaker, I spent my early teenage years in and out of court cases, tribunals, meetings with lawyers and the police. Whilst I was insistent that I would not let a dark event in my past negatively determine what happens to my future. It's a life I would not want other young people to have. So here in this place, I want to champion policy which helps reduce violence by educating disadvantaged young people, rehabilitating offenders, and giving our police the resources they need to do their jobs. Because the police officers that I encountered as a young teenager were exemplary. Particularly Karen Cocker, our family liaison officer, who I'm proud to say I'm still in touch with today. Losing my dad had a profound impact on me, Madam Deputy Speaker. He was an incredible source of inspiration. In many ways, the very embodiment of blue-collar Conservative values. He was a grafter, a self-employed stonemason who taught me the value of small enterprise as a force for good. He was incredibly aspirational, often jokingly citing Del Boy's great line, "This time next year, Rodney, we'll be millionaires." And he believed, above all else, that a person's duty is to leave a better world for future generations, delivering that through nothing short of hard work. Growing up with my dad's values, I became the first in my family to go to university. And weirdly enough, the first in my family to take a seat in this place as well. I was one of the lucky ones, Madam Deputy Speaker, but a child's opportunities should not be determined by luck, nor by their postcode. I am proud to be a member of this Conservative Party, which has levelling up and spreading opportunity at the very core of its ethos. Improving social mobility is not only a passion of mine, but it feels to me that it is my very duty to my constituents and to my country. This is why one of my key local priorities is improving job opportunities by setting up a youth employment champion scheme. Madam Deputy Speaker, a wise man called Dumbledore said, "It matters not what someone is born, but what they grow to be." Grafting as hard as I can to help my constituents grow to their full potential is not just a priority, but it is my duty. Thank you.
Catherine McKinnell.